Thank you for clicking on this video. We know you could have been anywhere in this YouTube universe, as big as it is, but you're rocking with me, and I truly appreciate that. I'm Rico, and on this channel, we help you elevate to the highest possible version of yourself, utilizing the 3C philosophy. That's confidence, character, and of course, charisma. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and do yourself a favor. Go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell icon, turn on them notifications. Come join this 3C lifestyle, because I promise you, it's better over here. So fellas, we all know what tomorrow is, right? Valentine's Day. And I know if you got that special someone, you definitely want to leave a lasting impression on her, right? We want to stick out in her memory forever. So today's video is going to be about 5 of the most sexiest, most complimented fragrances in my personal collection, okay? So I'm not saying I'm this major fragrance reviewer, not yet, but I do have a beginner's collection of about 40 to 50 bottles. So I just picked out the 5 that got me the most compliments and were complimented in the most sexy manner possible. Let's get to it. So if you weren't aware, those olfactory senses we have stimulate the emotional side of our brain. And studies have shown that smelling nice can lead to a higher perception of your overall appearance. So wearing the right fragrance at the right time will instantly boost your confidence. There's been hundreds and hundreds of studies that show that women really are attracted to confidence. That's just a fact. Confidence, not arrogance. Remember, there's a difference. So let's jump right into the list. Number 1, Angel Share by Kilian. This is a warm, sweet cinnamon scent. To my nose, it's kind of like a caramelized sugar accord. Quick story about this fragrance. I'm at a brunch, and literally, I walk past a couple, I'm walking through the brunch, getting my drinks, having a good time, and there's this couple dancing on one of the pillars, or whatever. So I walk past them, and literally, she taps me on my shoulder. It's two women dancing with each other. She taps me on my shoulder, and she goes, "What are you wearing? You smell amazing." And I go, "I don't know if I can tell you." Messing around, I don't know if I can tell you. And I walked off, and I had a Gucci scarf on. And she literally grabbed me by the back of my scarf when I was walking away and was like, "You go tell me what you got on." And I said, "All right, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke with y'all." And I had to tell her. So, quick little story about that fragrance and how it got me compliments. Crazy. That was one of many compliments that day, but that just was the most interesting. On the top notes, you have a beautiful cognac note. Makes sense because the Kilian family is the same family that produces Hennessy. In the mids, you have beautiful, amazing cinnamon, tonka bean, and a little bit of oak to give it a slight woody, warm woody accord. In the base, you have praline, you have vanilla, and you have that sandalwood that just smooths everything out and just makes it nice and clean. This is definitely a unisex fragrance. It can definitely be worn by men and women. Fellas, don't be afraid of wearing something that smells a little sweet. The women will find you edible. Trust and believe. Get this. It's not gonna hurt your pockets too much. You can find it on the website for about $200. It's definitely worth it. I've recommended this fragrance to a few buddies of mine, and the responses that they got, A1. Angel Share by Kilian. Number 2, this story behind this fragrance is kind of a quick one. It's kind of funny. I've gotten a few compliments from this fragrance, but the most interesting comment I got from this fragrance is I walked past a woman, she smelled my fragrance, and the first thing she said was, "Wow, this fragrance brings out a sexualness to it." This fragrance is none other than Musk Therapy by Initio. This is a beautiful, what I would consider a freshie, amazing for the warmer weathers. It has white musk, black currant, bergamot, mandarin orange, magnolia flower, sandalwood, and hedione. And I did another video that explained what hedione does to the brain. Allegedly, it's supposed to stimulate the receptors in our brain that activate pleasure senses. It's supposed to have this pheromonal effect on the opposite sex. Try it out, see how it turns out. Number 2, Musk Therapy by Initio Parfums. Number 3, this one was a pretty cool story. Went to a bar and went and got my drinks, was getting ready to close out at the bar actually. It was during the day. It was kind of like an open flow setting, so the breeze was going, and I was literally standing at the bar about 6 feet away from this guy. And I'm literally 6 feet away from the guy waiting for my check, and at my peripheral, I see the guy turn around and look, and then he goes, "Excuse me," and I turn around, "Hey, what's going on?" And then he goes, "You smell absolutely amazing, man. What are you wearing?" That fragrance is none other than Ani by Nishane. This is a warm, vanilla, woody, citrusy, soft, spicy, a little green. Top notes, you have ginger, which kicks it up with a little bit of spice. Ginger's not too overbearing, but you definitely understand it when you smell it. You have bergamot, you have pink pepper, you have those green notes. In the mid, you have cardamom, black currant, and Turkish rose. In the base, when all the magic happens in this dry down, phenomenal. It has vanilla, benzoin, sandalwood, cedar, patchouli, musk, and ambergris. Now the magic in this fragrance, I'm not gonna lie to you, it has one of the most amazing centrales and sillage you'll ever find in a fragrance. It has an amazing central and sillage. Sillage is when you walk past someone and the scent follows you, that breeze by, and it brings the scent with you. Similar to a scent trail. Scent trail is, you know, when you walk out of a room after you sprayed it and the scent is still in the room. Yeah, that's kind of like a scent trail. A sillage is usually when you walk past somebody. A scent trail is what's left behind in the room or whatever room you've been in after you sprayed a fragrance. This fragrance is amazing in both categories. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first got this fragrance, I wasn't too fond of it. I was like, it's okay. But I kept trying it. I smelled it on the dry down, and that's where the magic happens. The fragrance is beautiful all throughout, but on the dry down, that's where you're gonna get the most compliments, I promise you. This fragrance is amazing. Ani by Nishane. Number 4. This story is kind of funny. I was at a lounge, was out getting a drink. I walked up to the bar at the lounge. There was a group of people next to me. It was 2 women getting courted by 2 guys. Didn't know if they were on a date or not. So I'm up there getting my drinks. I'm about 4 feet away from them, 5 feet away from them, arm's distance. I like to give people their personal space. So while I'm waiting on my drink, I hear, "Excuse me," and then I look around, and then I realize the lady had stopped talking to the guy that she was in front of, and she was trying to get my attention. So I looked and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And then her exact words were, "What are you wearing? You smell delicious." And I tell her, "I appreciate that, thank you." And then her friend said, "I don't want to say anything, but I was thinking the exact same thing. You smell phenomenal." And that fragrance is none other than 1861 Naxos by Xerjoff. Bottle is beautiful too. This is an amazing honey tobacco scent. In the top of this fragrance, you're gonna find lavender, you're gonna find bergamot, and lemon. And you know what, really quick, I don't know if you understand what I mean by top, mid, and base. So the top of the fragrance is what you usually smell when you first spray it. In the first 30 minutes of the fragrance, what it smells like in the first 30 minutes. A lot of fragrances kind of change the way they smell throughout the life of the wearing of the fragrance, depending on the body chemistry, depending on the weather, things like that. So when you hear top, that's when you first spray the fragrance, and then usually the first 30 to 45 minutes of the fragrance, that's the top. Then it gets into the mid, and then let's say 2 hours into the fragrance, that's when you're at the base. Got it? So in the mid of this fragrance, you have honey, cinnamon, cashmere, and jasmine sumac. I hope I pronounced that right. At the base, you have tobacco leaf, tonka bean, and vanilla. And don't be afraid when I say tobacco. It doesn't smell like a cigarette when you hear tobacco. Like if you literally smell the leaves of tobacco, it's actually pretty pleasant. I don't smoke, but it's a very pleasant smell. Definitely one of the sexiest fragrances I have in my collection. Naxos by Xerjoff. Number 5. This is gonna be short and sweet. Story about this fragrance. I've gotten a lot of compliments from this fragrance. It's from a similar house that I just mentioned. Simply put, here's the story. One-liner. If anything smells better than this fragrance, it must have been made by God himself. That's what I was told about this fragrance. This fragrance is none other than Side Effect by Initio Parfums. I can't lie, this is definitely one of the sexiest cold weather fragrances I have in my collection. Save your coins, fellas, go get it. Just trust me on this, go. It's very, very sexy. And when it comes to the notes in this fragrance, they get straight to the point. They don't play around with this. It's real simple. It's rum, vanilla, tobacco, and cinnamon. All blended to perfection in there. It is amazing. It's sweet. It's a little bit spicy. I promise you. She might want to put you in a glass. You know what I mean? She might want to get a little sip. This also has hedione in it as well as one of the chemical compounds inside of the fragrance. So you know what that does already. It's the reason why this thing is called Side Effect. It's in the name, fellas. Go get it. I uploaded a video recently about how to reduce stress. I'll put the link in the bio below. And one of those ways was aromatherapy. And a lot of the scents that I discussed in that video on how to relieve your stress and reduce your stress and possibly save your life, a lot of them are in these fragrances. Go check these fragrances out. And with that being said, we've come to the end of the video. Once again, I want to thank you guys for rocking with me. I know you could have been anywhere in this YouTube universe, but you're rocking with your boy, and I truly, truly, truly appreciate that. Before you leave, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Once again, turn on those bell notifications. Share this video with anyone you think could find this information helpful. I'd highly appreciate that. And it's Super Bowl weekend, so I will say, if you're turning up and you're partying, just please do it responsibly. We want everybody safe. We want everybody to get home to their loved ones so they can celebrate an amazing Valentine's Day tomorrow. All right? With that being said, I love y'all. I'm out.